Nayani. I work in the legal sector and my job role is a partner. I think giving back to the local community was an aspiration of mine. I guess having been still part of the corporate ladder and having kind of worked my way up and seeing the opportunities that were given to me by people from the local community, I think it was high time to give something back and extend the ladder rather than bring it up, really. I'm currently a mentor to a really bright young person in Bristol who approached me to be as part of the EOA mentoring scheme. So I've been hosting them at our offices near Temple Meads on regular mentoring sessions focused around life at university and kind of postgraduate career options, and specifically with regards to entering law, which is something that I'm in the legal industry, so it's something that I can impart some decent advice about. So that young person has recently landed an offer from Oxford, which is really awesome news, and they're off to study jurisprudence come the new academic year. So that's been really fun. On the other side, I've recently raised some money for Babasa as part of the EOA scheme. I'm part of the local Muslim community, and we often tend to find that in terms of health equity outcomes, ethnic minorities don't tend to be up there when it comes to their white counterparts. So one of the ideas that I've had over the last 3 years is something called the Fasted 500, which is a global cycling challenge aimed at Muslims who observe the month of Ramadan. We encourage them to maintain their activity, not simply go into hibernation mode, which many of us do, and to remain active for many various reasons, like physical health and mental health reasons. So we've raised circa £350 for Babasa as an outcome of that. So we've had people participate from like Washington DC to Malaysia, as well as Bristol, which has been really fun. So yeah, Babasa was our chosen charity for this year's support, really. Last year we sponsored the Bristol Bike Project, which is another local charity doing great stuff, and the year before that we sponsored Cycling Sisters in Easton. Yeah, I think both of those really. So the increased learning, it's almost reverse mentoring in some instances. I tend to find that, you know, the higher you get up the corporate ladder, the fewer opportunities there are for you to really assess your style of management. Sometimes it's just a given that that's who you are and your style fits your team. But actually, having mentored a young person and seeing different ways in which they operate and the questions they ask, I think being open-minded, it helps you to question yourself as to whether your practices and outlooks in the workplace are still relevant. So it's been really good on that front. It's been really eye-opening. And in terms of satisfaction, I think it's been awesome. It's just heartening and like humbling to see like the talent and energy and enterprise that young people from, despite disadvantaged and, you know, minority backgrounds, oftentimes they have so much more to give. So I think opportunities like the EOA scheme I'd recommend highly to people who are interested. I would suggest going for it, and you'd be surprised, I think, at how rewarding it can be. It doesn't have to really kind of interfere as such or encroach on, say, your working day. If some people in the corporate sphere think that they have enough targets in the day as it is, how are they going to fit this in? Actually, it's super rewarding, and it doesn't require a massive time commitment, maybe something every quarter or something every 2 months. So I would suggest not thinking too much about it and just going for it. Have a serious consideration of Babasa. I think it can be quite bewildering, having been there many years ago from a minority background, thinking, how am I going to crack this law thing, for example? And that applies to other industries such as, you know, accounting or perhaps even more creative industries. So I would suggest like tap into networks of people who have already been there, or who can put you into contact with gatekeepers within organisations who can really help you begin your career. So Babasa, I think, are really excellent at having carved out their niche that. So I would get in touch with myself or any other equal opportunity ambassadors, really.